Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is the camera review of Vivo T2x 5G. This phone comes with a dual camera setup on the rear with a 50 megapixel primary camera and a 2 megapixel camera for taking portrait shots. For selfies, we get an 8 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture. Now here's the camera interface. It is pretty similar to other phones in the same brand. Now these are some sample shots. First, I'll start off with the selfies. Color reproduction is pretty good and the colors look close to reality and skin tones look good. It's close to reality. Dynamic range and exposure control are decent. Now these are some portrait selfies. Edge detection is pretty good. Color reproduction and skin tones look pretty good. Now these are some selfies taken in low lighting conditions. Colors look decent but they are a bit faded. As these selfies are taken in low lighting conditions, they're not too sharp and you can find greens, but that's to be expected. Now these are some selfies taken with the night mode. Selfies with night mode are decent. There isn't much difference compared to the regular selfies. Now this is a sample footage from the front facing camera.
So guys, this is a sample footage recorded using the front facing camera of Vivo T2x at 1080p resolution at 30 fps. Audio is from the phone itself, so apart from noise cancellation and stabilization offered by the phone. As you can hear, there's a lot of background noise going on, so you can clearly estimate how bad or how good the noise cancellation is. By the way, initial impressions, stabilization is pretty good, just looking at the preview.
With that said, colors are also a bit faded, but overall I'd say it looks decent. Now these are some sample shots from the rear camera. These pictures have good exposure control and good dynamic range. Color reproduction is good and the colors are pretty close to reality. As for the color temperature, it is slightly to the cooler side. Now these are some portrait shots. Edge detection is good most of the times. Dynamic range and exposure control are decent. Sharpness is also pretty good. Now the colors look a bit saturated, but they are pleasing to the eyes. Now even though this phone has a dedicated 50 megapixel camera, whenever you take a picture in the auto mode, that picture is automatically compressed using pixel binning. So for some reason, if you want to take a bigger 50 megapixel picture, you can use this dedicated 50 MP mode. Pictures taken in this mode are usually bigger in size, have a lot more resolution and also carry a lot more details. These are some sample shots. Now these are some pictures taken in low lighting conditions. In low lighting conditions, this phone does a pretty decent job. Images are slightly on the softer side, that's to be expected, but the color reproduction and the sharpness looks pretty decent. As for the colors, they are slightly to the cooler side. In complete darkness, if you take pictures with a flash, they look much better, colors are pretty accurate, close to reality, and the sharpness is also pretty good. Now these are some pictures taken in low lighting conditions with the night mode. Overall, images look much brighter than before, but they are still on the softer side. As for images taken in indoor lighting conditions, night mode makes the pictures look much more brighter. Now for the video department, this is a sample footage recorded in 1080p resolution at 30 fps. This one doesn't offer any stabilization, but the footage itself looks pretty good and you can get better results if you can just stand in a single place without moving around. Exposure control and dynamic range are decent. Color reproduction is pretty good and the colors are close to accurate colors. So guys, what do you think about the camera performance of this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video. With that said, this is Nikhil signing off. See you in my next video.